hate swamps. The place reeks. Probably full of bloodsuckers as well.
Shadowheart, you wound me.
Light on my feet. What to do?
What a day. From sweet woodland to stinking swamp. Can you do tricks like that, Gale?
Easiest thing in the world. Though I'd do it the other way around.
There is work to do.
I have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it. Never wanted the easy path. Let's have a look.
You picked the wrong fight, friend. Yes?
No one back home will ever believe this. With haste.
You seem to know a good deal about our condition, Gale.
Everything, really. Not to put too fine a point on it. On occasion.
Dead talk!
Onward. I've missed this.
should I do?
Go for the throat.
One can't always be a gentleman.
Got to focus.
If not over, then through. What's inside?
Well, hello.
Wits and blades, always sharp.
I've got a long road ahead.
Watch your back.
Whatever comes, I'm ready. I'm ready. Whatever it takes.
Never a dull moment. Swift as my feet can carry me.
Must be the tree from the note to Korga. What's that cleft there? That might be worth a look. Anything of use?
I can keep going a little longer now.
away from Waterdeep. I venture forth.
No one's stopped me yet. These boots have seen everything.
Foot.
If they make it. They're slow, vulnerable. Half or more will die long before Basilisk Gate.
Doesn't seem to trouble you a jot.
What good would it do for me to be troubled? We can't save them all.
I need a quick word.
Need anything else? Of course. But please, remember, you're not the only one in need. Sylvanus be with you.
Salutations.
No time to rest.
Lost in thought.
Can't give up now. Can't slow down. Give it a shot.
Our time grows short. If Korga won't abandon her madness, then we'll have to try the road, goblins or no.
Keep your steel.
This is a nightmare.
Back to the gate. Easy money. Yeah, right.
We're exposed now.
not over word.
How long do you think we've got before the goblins come?
Can't keep the goblins out forever. This is no fortress and we're no warriors.
Until Master Halsin return.
Why are you here? I sent you to Zevlor. What?
That damn nose of yours has gone poking in our business.
Mistress Olladin, I can explain.
Shh. No need. It couldn't be helped.
Korga, what is the meaning of this?
You think yourself quite the spy, don't you? Go on, tell him. You declined the honor. Very well. Halsin's always welcomed untouchables to your midst. Defiled the grove for the sake of harmony. We've come from Cloakwood to correct his mistakes.
Cloakwood? Shadow Druids? Korga, have you lost your mind?
Olladin speaks truth. Do you disagree? Would you see this grove in ruin?
The choice is made. Korga, burn the tainted away. Start with the snitch.
As you say, Olladin. Get out of my mind! Olladin, strike! We take this grove for the shadows!
Need to act fast. What's the plan?
There's blood in the air.
May the dice roll in my favor. Very well.
I cast
On the double.
The dance macabre. for the slaughter.
Swiftly now.
Ready.
Such is betrayal. A poison that destroys its wielder. To think Korga had turned to the ways of shadow. Her corruption ran so deep. Yet for her to die like this, under the Tree Father's gaze, perhaps it is justice. If only justice soothed my heart. A grove drenched in blood is no sanctuary at all.
What's hiding here?
I should have seen the signs. She had gone too far.
On my way. It's up for discussion.
The wolf focuses on you.
I hope to see Halsin return so he can help us heal. Please, if you find him, let me know.
I hear you put an end to Korga's treachery. My thanks. But what about your other mission? Any word on Master Halsin? Please hurry.
The bird's eyes are glassy.
Please, Tusk. It's not the time.
Korga was right. We must put ourselves first. She's dead because of your meddling.
Now they're done messing about with rituals, maybe them lot can make themselves useful.
The Rite of Thorns has ceased. It seems you will be allowed to stay.
We've been chanting for days. I need some rest.
Well, at least the sun is nice. You should try it. Lay down and bask in its warmth.
You ever scare me like...
Mom, I'm fine.
You saved our little girl and stopped the ritual. Thank you. We are in your debt.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for helping me.
Hey, you here to trade or? Yeah, I know. I was standing right here telling her to rob you.
Oh, yeah?
Look, now, do me a favor.
Hold. And step, swing, parry, swing. Excellent.
Looking for steel? I have, well, something close.
Careful, I might.
I'm told the druids have stopped their damn chanting. What happened? Truly, I'm sorry it had to come to this, but she left us with no choice. Thank you. We still have the goblins to contend with, but you've given us time to prepare. I need to ensure my people make the most of it. But here, left over from my soldiering days, it's sparse thanks for what you've done for us, but gods and goblins willing, I won't need it again. If you can clear the road of goblins, as you say, I'll ensure a reward is gathered for you. No word from the sky. Of course.
There's no time to waste.
All right. Time to see what new horror's waiting for us.
a nightmare.
Easy money. Yeah, right.
Should mind my step.
Which way to the nearest library?
Keep your distance, darling.
Ah, excellent choice.
Is that blood? No, never mind. Best be on my way.
My condition likes being ignored as little as I do. I must consume another artifact. And soon. Thank you. Good gods. It hardly has any effect. Oh, Mistra, have mercy on us all. Listen, I need to speak to you, to all of you. It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent. I might just be about to remedy that. You have to know who I was. You have to know who I really am. What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. And from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it. Much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself. The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mistra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In time, she became my muse. And later, even my lover. I am, after all, the villain of the tale. We enjoyed each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mistra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries. I tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. Swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. But inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied. So I sought to prove myself worthy to her instead. We come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale? Very well. Here goes. Once upon a very long time ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise. I'll save his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. He almost managed, but not quite. And his entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as he turned to stone. The magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal. Roiling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. It fractured, then shattered, and all magic was lost to the mortal realms. Until the day Mistra returned. She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, in the course of my studies, I learned of a book. A Netherese tome in which a piece of the fractured weave had been sealed beyond her reach. What if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess? You know me. My gestures can never be grand enough. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mistra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. As for what happened next... Here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book, bound, and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
What is it? What do you see?
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however. I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep. Every waking moment. Every dreaming moment, too. But there was no way out. All of this. It must feel like a betrayal. Say the word, and we'll part ways. That is a great relief. Oh, a great relief indeed. You truly are a soul that steals my own. From all my new rallied heart, I thank you. I thank you all. I understand if you stand against me. I'm humbled if you stand with me. Either way, I will do my best not to let you down. I stand at a precipice, but if you do not give up hope, neither shall I. I'll fight. I'll resist as long as I can. Now, even I am tired of the sound of my own voice. Let us venture forth.
That orb seems powerful. What can it do once it's extracted?
Nothing good can come of it unless it is contained. Why?
It might be useful.
Something tore right through these people. They didn't stand a chance.
Amicus animatus.
Go away, or you will become new flesh. I will make you new flesh. No, no flesh. Flesh hurts.
The creature's eyes roll back in its head, equal parts bliss and agony. She'd eaten, feasted, and yet, looking into her eyes, you can see it wasn't enough. She's still hungry.
Come! See! My flesh becomes new flesh!
You hear what comes next before you see it. The sharp snapping of bones, and a yelp of pain as her body starts to twist and undulate. You watch with cold realization. This isn't the end of one life, but the start of another. Gnolls, vicious, monstrous humanoids can spawn from the corpses of dying hyenas. A swift strike against her skull. She yelps, then goes still. As the life fades from her eyes, the gnoll within her dies too, stillborn.
Hyena will be back, and it won't be alone.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
This way.
Can't give up. This'll help. Got to press on.
No gloom, all doom.
As you wish. Shall we cut and run?
seems simple enough. I'm not going to last much longer.
One day I'll catch a break.
Time to kill. To the death.
Need to stay focused.
Damn gnolls everywhere.
Moving ahead. Open up. I'm exhausted. Better find somewhere to camp soon.
corpse regards you lifelessly.
Boss, Baldur's Gate, the Guild. Wizard's shipment. Chest. Rugan protected it. Took it north. Lucky son of a tavern. Hideout. Secret.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Something good here, I hope. Wish I had a bag of holding.
Something over there. Some old forgotten bones.
There are Harper and Druid symbols on their equipment. An interesting pair.
My faith protects me.
Still breathing, despite everything. Always a pleasure.
Buckle up. Dismiss someone good.
Have to keep going.
Whatever killed those gnolls might be nearby. Careful.
What's in here? No traps, please.
Well met. Sorry, but there's no room for me. I like how...
Cut it out. It's worse than Knowles out there.
Nothing we need to worry. I'll give it a bloody good fight, that's for sure.
Who's there? Please, keep your distance. You're welcome to shelter here, but we've grave injuries to tend to. A devil, the most deadly foe we've yet encountered. We are paladins of Tyr, Lord of Justice. He sent us after an infernal being, straight out of the Nine Hells, hiding in the form of a one-horned tiefling.
One horn? Then you mean Karlach, Archdevil's bootlicker.
You know her, which means you know what the Fiend is capable of. She slaughtered countless refugees fleeing the Absolute. Yesterday, she butchered an entire family without mercy. We were lucky to survive our encounter with her. She ran toward the river when she saw we were merely wounded, not dead. Down the hill from here. She must pay for her crimes. If you capture her, you will have served Tyr where we could not. This is the sword of justice, blessed by Tyr. I've wielded it since I swore my oath. It's all I have, but it's yours if you stop her. Bring me her head, and Tyr will consider her crimes repaid. May the just God guide you.
Might be useful.
If you want to go poking around in the cellar, be my guest. Plug your nose first, though. It was a toll house. By the time we arrived, it was more like a slaughterhouse. There's more monsters than coin moving down this road. There's a locked door down the hatch. Doesn't look like anyone's managed to get in. If there's any gold left, that's where it'll be. Corpse, half rotted to mush. Must have been down there a 10-day or more.
The rot of death. Delightful.
A hero at heart.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Hiding. Frightened. Gods abandoned me and Vance. Goblins laughing, cutting. Toll collector, Martin.
At the ready. Let's see what this does.
What now?
All right, what now? Need to find a way forward. Let's see.
What's hiding here? First step's the hardest. Bet that will fit in my pack.
Need any supplies? We've fewer mouths to feed now. 2. Both stalwarts of Tyr, sworn to uphold justice. The Lord of Justice sent us after a devil haunting this area. We squared off against her. We lost. Talk to Anders if you want the details. I don't have it in me to recount the horror. In Tyr's name.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
The pact! Power! Power. Strength. Fallen. Lady infernal servant. So long I've forgotten why.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
But they got themselves into that mess. They can get themselves out.
The truth is, if there is a devil running wild, we might have to deal with it one way or another.
What's that? I'm way too big. Bodies everywhere. Accident or sabotage?
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Anywhere. Away. Safety. Gold. Basement. Locked. I fell. Dropped key. Jumped. To escape. Broken. Vance. Toll collector.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
One horn. The stink of Avernus. Advocatus diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you. Touch me, and you'll regret it.
A great heat roars through you. Her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood. The Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her. That's enough to damn you.
Will catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
I'm Karlach, but you already knew that. And you are... Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? Little background if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good. Really good. It turns out I've got a knack for killing demons. That made me a valuable asset. Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me as her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. But devils don't like to lose their assets. Zariel liked it so little She sent a bunch of goons, so-called paladins of Tyr, to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going. Don't worry, I'll lead the charge. But I could use your help. There's a lot of them and only one of me. After that, we can team up. Take Faerun by the short hairs. Sound good?
She's almost as scary as you, Lae'zel. So naturally she gets my vote.
Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them.
No room in your party. What should I do?
All right. I know a shortcut.
Now we're talking.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
Damn, it's good to be alive.
Let's get going. Moving in.
needs madness.
Shouldn't have wished to live more interesting times. Another step forward.
How delicious. Hmm? Moving.
Eager for battle. Quickly then.
Within reach.
Into the shadows.
Let's move.
Attention!
Still alive, so that's progress. Don't waste a step.
You brought her here. We won't survive another assault. Leave us in peace, and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please. We just want to go home.
There's something in the squint of his eye. You suspect he's lying.
Enough. Enough. I'll not play pretend anymore. Karlak, you're going home in pieces if needs must. And you'll soon learn what it means to ally yourself with the likes of this garbage.
Avernus was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now. And I'm never going back! Ah!
Go time.
Let's find some prey.
With haste.
Can you feel death's cold grip?
Sometimes the only way out is through.
Won't go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash. Not big enough. Now get out before you get hurt. Now!
Wonder if the gods are watching
I'm fading fast. I must.
Watch the shadows.
Like it's proceeding.
I'm never going back.
I have a lot on my mind. In it.
Just try to sort it out. Come That ought to do it.
Best get going. How much farther can I go? Don't mind if I do. What's in here? should speak up.
Felt good letting off a little steam after facing off with those Ignots. Granted, the fire lasted a little longer than it should. Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn as hot as the hells. Seems to be running in overdrive since I left Avernus. Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close, till I've found a way to calm it down. High pain tolerance, and a dynamic duo of truly shitty bosses. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later, after we've worked up an appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner rather than later. Believe me when I say this thing is hot. The first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him. A weaponsmith, huh? Not sure if he's the guy, but I'd love to find out. A tune-up would do this rusty heart a world of good. What can I do you for? The year, 10 Air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city, with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell. Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job, a good job, with people I liked, doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again. Gives me energy, power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close. I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, and start making up for lost time. But not today. What's the story? Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about? First things first, I need to get this engine tuned up. Thing's powerful, but it's been feeling volatile ever since I left the Hells. Can't be too hard to find an infernal mechanic around here, right? Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you? Lucky you. Sometimes I think I'd be better off indulging in a bit of light oblivion. Well, we may as well make some good memories mixed in with the body horror, huh?
Here goes nothing.
Someone there? Step quick.
Oh dear.
Someone's left a trap out for us. Traps. How considerate.
Don't be shy.
I've got a long road ahead.
Trust no one. Moving.
Oh dear.
Someone's left a trap out for us. Seems I've done something, but not enough.
Indolence breeds madness.
No one's stopped me yet. Be wary. This place is trapped.
Don't touch me.
Wanna dance? Let's go!
Keep a blade close. traps. How considerate.
Can't give up now.
Well, well, well.
Still alive, so that's progress. Curse to put my hand on everything.
What's cooking?
How delicious.
What to do?
Oh, action, not reaction.
Looking ahead. Maybe I need more pockets.
Don't burn yourself.
Don't touch me.
Me?
Time to rest. Anything of use?
Hey, good looking.
It's mine now. Quick step.
Is that blood? No, never mind. something good here, I hope. What path lies before me?
This whole plain reeks of it.
That'll wake you up of a fine day, won't it?
I do not need awakening. My senses are sharp as steel.
Well, hello.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have. Very well.
Thought I sensed an infernal around here. But you aren't from Elturel. What's your story?
I spent a good bit of time in the Hells. Enlisted against my will by the Archdevil Zariel. Same as you, I suppose, if you're from Elturel. The devils were delighted when your city was swallowed up. I thought they had you for keeps. Glad you got out.
I got lucky. It looks like you did too. And you brought some infernal machinery with you.
A little gift from Zariel. Keeps me burning hot.
Very hot by the smell of it. Might be burning out a piston ring or leaking oil. Mind if I take a listen?
Be my guest. But don't get too close or your eyes will melt shut.
Phew! You really are burning up. Whoever put that engine together tried to house metallurgized Demano valves inside a Ragnak's alloy casement. Very risky. I might be able to help. But I'd need infernal iron. And a prayer that my hammer will survive the work. That thing isn't meant to operate outside of Vernus. I'm not sure how much longer it'll keep running the way it's going.
Will you be able to turn down the temperature a little? Worried I'm gonna go in for a handshake and singe someone's arm off one of these days.
I'd worry about surviving the night first. But help one, help both. If we can cool you off, it'll stabilize your engine and allow you to touch whomever you please.
Hey, soldier. I think we picked up some of that infernal iron already. What say you? Should I give it to him? Please let this work.
The weight of it. And that blaze of chaos. Can't imagine this where my heart should be. Must be quite the experience. Give me just a moment. And I think... There. You'll have to install it, I'm afraid. I don't think there are thick enough gloves in all the realms to protect from that kind of heat.
That feels... good. I'm still burning hot as hell's hole, but I feel less... changeable. Cheers, mate.
Pleasure. And as for the heat, I haven't got any solutions now, but I'm not giving up. Could be if the combustion chamber had its own insulation, or if we had some kind of enchanted coolant. Find me again in Baldur's Gate. If I'm worth my salt, I'll have figured something out by then. Take care, Karlach. And hopefully the next time I see you, I'll have something promising to report. Pocket any infernal iron you find along the way, I miss my forge.
Damon's upgrade didn't cool me down, but it did juice me up. I don't think I've ever felt more powerful. Sooner rather than later would be good. I feel like I'm burning serious fuel. Oh, fuck yes. I'm ready to burn all night. Speaking of, I could eat a giant badger. Is it almost time for dinner?
How many people are dumb enough to ask?
Something's on my mind.
True.
Those goblins will rue the day they chose to tangle with this grove. You and I will do some good here. I can feel it.
Doesn't taste half bad. You've had your share.
Remember, you have teeth and claws. Use them. closed now.
No traps, please.
Remember, teeth and claws.
You'd die if I met heroic and reeking of this place. I'm never gonna.
Let's hit the road, Memnos.
Soon.
Careful, I bite. Tread lightly. Ready or not.
The druids will not stand by while you abscond with their idol. Your next move will decide your fate. You are forgiven.
What did I tell you?
All right. What now?
How could we be so blind?
We need a plan. We need a leader.
Action, not reaction.
What now? On the hunt.
Let's move.
What have we here? Keep your distance, darling. One step at a time.
Your second attempt has gone no better than the first.
already feeling better.
How can I help? Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistril, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like to be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel. And with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistril sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistril. The end of Karsus and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. If it takes the death of a god to stop you, I'd say your ambition has gotten somewhat out of hand. Not that I'm one to talk, of course. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. I'd be delighted, though someone else will... Magical.
Breathe deep and move.
Trust no one. Let's go.
No one back home will ever believe this. Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Someone there? Shall we?
One with the weave. Let's explore.
Huh?
Let me work my magic. As you wish.
Keep a blade close. Don't mind if I do.
How could we be so blind?
On my way. Very, very quiet. Just like old times. Let's keep to the shadows.
Please return. Before it's too late.
Over there.
Quiet, you pup.
Really?
Not long until... I had a feeling you'd be back. Thanks. See you in Baldur's Gate, I hope. Now scram, before I get emotional. When do I get to run the ring scan? Sylphie got caught. We have to lay low for a while. I knew she wasn't ready.
It's my job too. The druids don't care about us. No one does.
We have to look after ourselves.
To think we almost finished the ritual. I felt honored when I was chosen to participate. Now I feel guilty I didn't object.
Cogger was right. We must put her... She's dead because...
Goblins before we can go anywhere. Druids? Goblins?
I know you had to stop her, but Korgar was just trying to protect us. What are we going to do now? She's gone, Master Halsin's missing. We're exposed.
We've ceased our ritual, but that's not an invitation for you to do as you please. Be respectful of this place.
How about this?
To think Korga had turned to the ways of Yet for her to die like this, under the Tree Father's gaze, perhaps it is justice. If only justice soothed my heart. A grove drenched in blood is no sanctuary at all.
Now they're done messing about with rituals.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Hell's fire. She's coming.
Will, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
God damn it. Anyone but her.
Now? But I'm just getting comfy. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlak meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart. Don't you worry. That ship has long sailed the Styx. But a defiant pup must still pay his price. To wit.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you.
Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands.
Ta-ta.
Glad to have an ally.
Gods damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mizora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
All these years. You'd think it's a lesson I'd have well learned. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. The one little question that put me out of house and home. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mizora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mizora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word. Well met. It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck. Not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see? It's because you know the heart lurking under the horns. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe, and one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again. A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. We can have all for it, but it won't so much as chip one of her nailed claws. She'll escape to the Hells, and if we succeeded, my life would be taken in exchange. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. I'm so sorry to give you another reason to sleep restlessly, but it's my burden to bear. She won't touch you unless there's something there for her to take. Don't give her so much as an inkling there might be.
I can't help feeling Will got off lightly. The wrath of the Hells is second only to the wrath of the heavens. Having a devil in our camp will certainly make things interesting. Never a dull day, is there? If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
One day I'll catch a break.
The Blade of Frontiers in the guise of a devil. I'd remark on the irony, but I'd hate to waste the breath. Still, it took guts to defy that petty patron of his. The Blade's sting is real.
There you are! my friend. Oh, that. A scratch. I ran afoul of a bear. He took a little of my blood. I took all of his. You're comparing plonk to vintage wine. You can make merry with either, but they're not the same. But Cazador fed me rats and bugs. And when you're used to drinking from a sewer, even plonk is a marked improvement. I existed. That was enough for him. He reveled in having power over me. Because those with power can do whatever the hell they want. Indeed they are. Now that I can walk in the sun, well, that opens all manner of doors. It could open some coffins, too. No, these tadpoles are a gift I intend to use to the fullest. You should do the same.